So we are building to keep Singapore special and exceptional. But even more important than our physical investments is our people. Building the sense of ownership and belonging. The instinct to stick together through thick and thin. The drive to surmount every challenge and persevere year after year to make Singapore better. We will be a more diverse society. It will be a challenge. But we've got to strengthen the forces that unite us and overcome the forces that pull us apart. We are Singaporeans together on a small island. We're anchored by our emotional links with family and friends, and by our shared sense of our history and our common destiny. We are not just here materialized out of nowhere, appeared out of a Transformer movie maybe. We came here somewhere, sometime, there was a history to it. And it's crucial to remember where we came from, how we got here. Whether it's Geylang, whether it's Little India, whether it's the events which we lived through, important milestones. These are the human stories of people, ordinary people, who struggle to improve their lives, and they live through war or hardship or the turbulent early years of independence. And they achieved extraordinary results with good leadership. And they had fulfilling lives, and they made Singapore special. Recently, I attended the launch of Singapore Heritage Fest, and I made a speech about these human stories and emphasized how important they were. And it prompted a response in the Today newspaper by a lady, Angeline Koh, who was working on digital storytelling. And I think I should read a little bit of what she said, because it resonated with her. And she said, "What are memories and shared experiences but stories? And storytelling is what Singapore as a nation needs. There are unsung heroes in our midst. There are people we meet each day in our homes and in our schools, at work and in play. Our children need to realize they are heroes in the making. They have the power to become heroes by the brave and sacrificial choices they make, to live well and for the good of others." So when we talk about history and national education and a sense of belonging, it's not just words and abstract concepts. It's really the stories of people, real people, what they lived through, what it meant for them. And that's why MICA is launching a Singapore Memory Project to capture, preserve, and showcase these memories. And they hope to collect 5 million memories by 2015, because that's our 50th anniversary. And the stories can come from anybody, any person, any community, any organization or institution which has experienced Singapore. And together, all these individual stories will weave the tapestry of our nation. They started in July. So far, they've collected 30,000+ stories. And I haven't read all of them, but I just pick up 2 memorable accounts to share with you. One is by a Mr. James Seah, who lived through the Bukit Ho Swee fire in 1961. And I read what he said, and I looked up some footage and some photos of the events, and it brings back to life a very traumatic moment for this young man. There was a dark, billowing smoke in the sky. The smell was toxic. People were shouting, "Fire, fire," screaming, shouting. My mother and I ran as fast as we could to flee away from burnt houses. There was a stampede. The older and weaker people were carried by younger and stronger ones. I noticed my neighbor's daughter knelt down on the ground to pray, staring at a darkened sky of smoke. They ended up in Kim Seng School. The school compound was crowded with thousands of fire victims, police, military personnel, doctors, nurses, and helpers. Tents were erected for registration of fire victims, cooking utensils to cook on the spot and supply meals. There was also milk powder for babies. My family visited the fire site and saw the shocking scene of the aftermath of the fire the following day. Within the week, my family was allocated an HDB 2-room flat at Margaret Drive. So that's one aspect of Singapore and how we got here. Another story, more cheerful, is the memory of Malaysia Cup 1994. Singapore versus Pahang. And this was by Mr. Muhammad Reza. I read his account. I love showing support to the Lions battling it out at Malaysia Cup. I was 17 years old then, a mere schoolboy. When we were walking towards the stadium, there was this feeling of euphoria and anxiety, anticipating the match. As everywhere we went, fans of both sides were in their best country's colours. The feeling was simply awesome when the final whistle was blown, as if the whole of Singapore was there at Shah Alam. So I asked if we had the movie clip, so I'll share it with you.
Abbasad on the ball, the hero of the Singapore squad. And look at that pass to Fandi Ahmad. That was weighted to perfection. Could this be number 4 now? Fandi versus Khairul!
What a tremendous display!
Surely now, Singapore have won the Malaysia Cup!
I agree, Mark. There's no way back for Pahang.
The countdown begins. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Singapore have won the 1994 Malaysia Cup.
So, Mr. Muhammad Reza's comment is worth sharing with you too. He said, the most memorable moment during the whole Malaysia Cup to me was not the players, instead the integrity of the fans to come together as one. And only in this competition where we see strangers become good friends and buddies become family. This is what I'm definitely hoping for in the next Malaysia Cup, and not so much of the win. But I hope the Lions win too.